Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Bwtm Sports. It's a late one today. It's actually early morning, 1 a.m. in the morning. Had to wait for Mr. Bashir to get himself back in the house.
The funeral industry has been ripping off the...
And very nice to know. Yeah, so we've got Uncle Bashir in the house. We'll bring him in straight away. Uncle Bashir, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Everything's good.
Seemed like you had a bit of confusion in the background there, but you seem okay now.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, great. So we're going to be discussing a few things tonight. First of all, I think we're going to Lomachenko and Lopez. Let's start about that first. You were talking to me off the air earlier about you felt that Lomachenko and Lopez should have a rematch.
Yeah, I think that would Lomachenko and Lopez should have the rematch. I think that he needs Lopez needs that to clear the air, because a lot of people felt that Lomachenko was coming on late in the fight, and they I think that Lopez won the last round, but the 2 rounds prior to that, Lomachenko was coming back. So just to suspend any suspicions or any doubts about who the boss of that fight is, I think that Lopez needs to go back and fight Lomachenko again, blow him out, or either get blown out, and then they can have a third fight. If that's the case, I mean, it could be that Lopez beats him twice. But it could also be that Lomachenko comes back to beat Lopez.
Can you actually see Lomachenko doing any better?
Either way, I think that Lopez needs to remove all doubt about him winning the fight. That he should go back and take the fight again and get the man a rematch.
Was it that exciting, the first fight?
No, it wasn't exciting because I don't think the best Lomachenko showed up. There was always talk about his shoulder being hurt. He was, he got the operation thereafter. So, I mean, just to remove doubt from the fans' trend of thought. You have guys that had these 2-3 fights to clarify there. I mean, you look at Pacquiao versus Morales and Pereira. He fought him 3 times.
But they were exciting fights.
They were, and I think that a rematch between Lomachenko and Lopez, I think that the rematch would be far more exciting than the first fight.
I think the second fight ends up in a knockout.
Huh?
I think the second fight may end in a knockout.
Yeah, it might turn, but whatever the case, that fight needs to happen. The rematch needs to happen.
So you wouldn't rather him go in and fight somebody else instead, maybe a prime fighter? Because I mean,
give the man. Look, Lomachenko been in the driver's seat a long time.
Okay,
he deserves the respect of having a rematch. He deserves the respect.
Jessica McCaskill, who recently beat Cecilia Braekhus, has given her immediate rematch.
Yes.
She'll do the same thing again. She'll do the same thing again.
But still, the rematch has to happen to let the former champion know that no, you're not, you don't have it no more. I mean, Ali and Fraser fought 3 times.
Yeah.
You got to give the former champion. Lomachenko was in the saddle. He was beating everybody. So give him a chance. If you're secure in what you're doing, give the man a rematch. I think that the fans will buy into that. The fans want to see a rematch.
Okay, fair enough. Next topic. Let's talk women's boxing. The 2-minute rounds, turning them into 3 minutes.
I think that they have to suspend that. I think that when you look at boxing for what it is. You have to give the women as much of an opportunity in the pay ranks as well as in the time, because these people, these females are they're flying jet fighters. They're fighting in wars, and then you tell them that you got to fight 2 minutes. It doesn't work to me.
Who came up with that rule in the first place for 2 minutes?
I don't know. I don't know who it did, but they got to take it, look at it for what it is. It's just like, you telling people here in the States that you got to be 21 to buy a pack of cigarettes, but you can go to war and die at 18. It doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't.
It doesn't calculate in my mind. If a person can go to war and lose their life at 18, but you can't purchase a pack of cigarettes until you're 21. Do you make sense of that?
No, a lot of things in life make sense.
I can't make sense of it. So I think that the women deserve the right to fight 3 minutes around. And I think most of the women out there, and there are some talented women out there that can box, that know their way around the boxing. I think that they deserve the right to fight 3 minutes per round.
Well, I'm sure when they're sparring, they're not sparring 2 minute rounds. I'm sure they're sparring 3 minute rounds.
A lot of times they do. There are capable female fighters out there that can do it, So I think that they should be given the right. At least a pilot run, a test run to see how they do. But you can't tell me that the girls can't fight 3 minutes, but they can go to a war and risk their lives. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
It does not.
In the UFC, do you know if the rules are the same as well, that they fight 3 minutes or 5 minute rounds? I think the rules might be similar in the UFC.
I don't know.
I'll have to check into that. I think the UFC might just be quite consistent. And if it is,
the girls in the UFC are taking a hell of a risk nonetheless. And you can't tell me about the time limit. It doesn't equate in my mind.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It's just plain foolishness.
Yeah, it's somebody trying to be clever, or some sexist person made the decision. We'll have to find out who made the decision and ask them the question as to why they did it.
And
okay,
female fighters, they should be paid equally.
Of course, they should as well.
You can't. You're giving these girls, and in many cases, the girls are more than the men.
And it's not even that. I know firsthand after hearing the stories from female fighters of the things they have to do that men don't have to do. Oh, get your kit off, dress a certain way. If you do this for me, then I'll do that for you. Male fighters don't have to deal with that. Female fighters have to deal with the sexual harassment as well. Something not talked about in boxing, but a lot of these promoters do that stuff. It's not cool.
Very, very careful and mindful. Working with Ivana Habazin and the women that came in to spar with her. Very, very conscious of what I say and what I do around them, so as they would feel comfortable working.
Yeah, absolutely.
With
it's professionalism, is it? It's professionalism, isn't it?
Yes, and furthermore, I got 4 daughters, man. I don't want nobody doing no shit like that to my daughters.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it to nobody else's child. So when those women are around me, they felt right at home because I made them feel at home. I bent over backwards to make them feel at home, to make them feel trusting around me. But I think that's some petty, really cheap stuff for somebody to hold one thing over a person's head for sexual gratification or sexual innuendos or whatever the case might be. I think
it's not cool.
I think that's really some rotten stuff to do. So
absolutely. Okay, so we've got women's boxing. We've Alexander Usyk in the news. Won't take a little bit of step aside money. He wants, according to Eddie Hearn, he's greedy, wanting to take more money than necessary. so he can step aside so that Joshua and Fury can get it on. Even though I don't believe now that Joshua.
Eddie Hearn said that Usyk wanted to take more money.
Yeah, he's too greedy, something like along those lines.
Well, I mean, he qualified for the #1 spot. And they offered him a number, and he didn't want to go for the number. He said, look, I want this amount of money, or I'm not going to step aside. I don't see.
I understand he doesn't want to step aside, and he wants to fight Joshua.
He doubled the step aside money?
No, he wants to fight Joshua. He don't want to step aside. He wants to fight Joshua.
Yeah, I don't see nothing that's wrong with it. I think that he deserves the right. Usyk qualified to fight Joshua.
What qualifies? Wait. What?
I think it's an interesting fight. I don't think the fight is going to happen. I don't think the fight is going to happen. I think that they're going to do what they must do to make the Fury Joshua fight. That's the biggest fight on the.
It's not happening,
huh?
Uncle. It's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Okay, why?
Not happening.
I'll tell you why I think it's going to happen.
I'll tell you why I think it's happening. Because ESPN only recently did a piece last week about the biggest feud in boxing, which is which is Fury versus Wilder. I don't believe, in no way, shape, or form, the longer this arbitration carries on for Deontay Wilder, the better it is for him. I don't think that Fury Joshua is going to happen. I believe that Wilder is going to get that third fight with Fury. I really do believe it. And if there's a contract saying that Fury has to honor a contract and he's not honored it, and he's been trying to slip and slide out of that contract, he even himself said, Fury said himself that Wilder is the most dangerous heavyweight in the world. He said it himself. He said a fight with Wilder is more dangerous than him fighting a fight with Joshua. He rates Wilder far more higher than Joshua. He still rates Wilder as the most dangerous heavyweight in the world today.
I don't care what he says. Eddie Hearn, all right, Frank Warren, Bwtm, they all see dollar signs, and they're going to make that fight happen.
If it was
Joshua and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, they're going to make that fight happen. If they have to take all those belts and throw it into the pond,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You got Usyk. You got Usyk wanting to.
Listen, I don't want to beat no dead horse here. I said it's going to happen. Let's sit back and see what happens.
We'll check back onto that one, but I just don't see it happens. I think.
Okay, I'll come back and say I told you so. I'm telling you, I've been around this thing too long. I'm telling you, they're not going to. That's the biggest fight on the heavyweight horizon.
Yeah. Well, wait. Hold on.
They're not going to let that get away. They're not going to let that fight get away.
Hold on. I'm going to say two words to you. Wilder versus Joshua. That got away. That ends that conversation. Wilder versus Joshua. 100 million. The opportunity to be undisputed, and it didn't happen.
I don't think Eddie Hearn was excited about making the Wilder versus Joshua fight. I don't think so. I don't think they was really interested in making that fight. So they made the Andy Ruiz fight instead, right? Or they fought Povetkin instead, right? That was the smart thing to do. Uncle. They thought they could beat those guys.
Listen. A lot of people here think that Wilder's a bit doolally. Think he's a bit crazy. So if he was that crazy and he didn't stand a chance, why is this arbitration still going on? Why is Wilder not just been thrown out? Nah, mate, you ain't got a case. This case is still going on.
Yeah, about that arbitration and all that stuff. I'm telling you,
that's why,
going to be made
Uncle,
between Tyson Fury.
But that's why we're here at the moment.
Look. This the biggest.
That's why we're here at the moment.
It's the biggest fight in British.
Honor your contract.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. This ain't
Let's see. The young ladies have to fight 5-minute rounds in UFC, as with the men. Leif Gravenson says, in track and field, women compete identical to men, marathons, 100 meters, etc. Stacey Cross comes in and says,
The women compete 5 minutes in the UFC.
Yes, as with the men.
That just dispels the myth. They're fighting 5 minutes rounds in the UFC, and then they 2-minute rounds in boxing. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Stacey Cross says, "Why should Usyk step aside?"
I don't think he should step aside. You know, I don't think he should step aside. I didn't say he did.
Listen.
I'm all for Alexander Usyk boxing Anthony Joshua for the title, but I'm just talking about money related to money. No way Usyk is going to get that fight over Tyson Fury. Joshua's brain trust said, "Give Usyk the belt. Let him and Joy fight for it. We need to stay on the path that leads us to Tyson Fury. That's the big money."
I am not convinced.
Okay.
I think they thought they could skip over, and Fury thought he could skip over, and Bob Arum thought they could skip over, and Warren thought they could skip over and jump to the Joshua fight, and they found out, this guy's got a case. This guy's got a case.
Watch what happens in the end. I ain't even talk about it anymore. I already know what's going to happen. They're not going to let Tyson Fury get away from boxing.
Listen,
Joshua.
You also realize that Al Heyman has something to do with this as well, and he's bigger than all of them.
What Al Heyman got? What he got?
What's Al Heyman got?
He has Wilder.
He's of course he's got Wilder. He's PBC, isn't he? And you talk about Al Heyman, he's a lawyer himself.
Mm-hmm.
You think Al? We all agreed when the first fight of Fury and Wilder was made, it was going to be a trilogy. That means 3. Doesn't mean 2. It means 3. Fury is the one that tried to think, let's knock it on the head.
All right, well, let's move on.
As Fury says,
I said what I have to say. Now we're gonna see what happens.
Says here, Lev says, will Tyson drop the belts to avoid Wilder and fight Joshua? If he does that, Lev, and he doesn't honor his contract that says he's meant to fight Wilder next,
they're gonna
a lawsuit may come.
Watch this here. They're gonna fight for the Ring magazine and the IBO belts. That's what's gonna justify and legitimize the title fight. It's gonna be the IBO and the Ring magazine.
Well, I hope the IBO and the Ring magazine will be able to pay for the lawsuit that Tyson's going to have to deal with if that is the case. If he's breaking a contract,
they're gonna get around that stuff. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. They're gonna get around that. They're gonna ice skate it. They're gonna make a number 8 around that contract clause. Watch what
one of the ideas that people are talking about is potentially Wilder going to the Bridgerweight division. Why? Why should he move down in weight?
I think would be a backward step. He already competed at the highest level, so why would he go back to Bridgerweight?
He's only had 1 loss. 1 loss. People are talking like the end of his career. 1 loss.
Yeah, I think he should just forget about that.
Okay, let's talk about the Bridgerweight division. Let's see what we can do here. The Bridgerweight division. Yes. The rankings of the Bridgerweight division. Let's get that up on the big screen. And here we are, Uncle. Can you see the Bridgerweight division?
No, you can read it off. These things are like little ants going around on the screen.
Okay, well, the ratings. The number 1 boxer in the Bridgerweight division is Oscar Rivas. Then we've got the guy from Belgium who is Riyad Mohi. I don't know who he is. Then third is
I don't know him either.
Kevin.
Is there any send the rankings over to me?
I will do. Kevin Leron. I'll send it over. Let me WhatsApp it to you. Well, I'll WhatsApp it over to you if I can get to. I'll have to WhatsApp it to you afterwards.
Okay.
So that's 2. Number 3 is Kevin
Lorena.
Lorena. Yeah.
South Africa, right?
Yes. Number 4 is Dmitry Kurdishov.
Kurdikov. I think he's from Ukraine.
Russian.
Russia. Okay, I know it. I know him.
Romanov.
I don't
Russia.
know. No, I don't know.
Bright Jennings, 6.
Uh-huh.
Arthur Spilker, 7. Spilker's finished. How did he get in there? 8 is Alan Babich. It's interesting. From
you know
Russia. Yeah, he's Eddie Hearn fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Joel Tambi Dejeko. And he's from Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
11 is Marco Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Number 12 is Bilal Lagune, Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
Number 13 is Samuel Kagje, France. Number 14 is Rashid Kodosiv. He's Russian. Number 15 is a guy that I think is going to become champion of the world regardless, Isaac Chamberlain. And then Carlos Welsh, he's from the USA. Isaac Chamberlain's from the UK. 18, Alexander Telenko, Ukraine. Number 19 is Labinot. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. He's from Kosovo. Number 20 is Robbie Sims. Number 21 is Robbie Sims. Number 22 is Robbie Sims. Number 23 is Robert Sims. Number 24 is Robert Sims. Number 25 is Robert Sims. Number 26 is Robert Sims. Number 27 is Robert Sims. Number 28 is Robert Sims. Number 29 is Robert Sims. Number 30 is Robert Sims. Number 31 is Robert Sims. And number 32 is Robert Sims. I don't know if that's something that the WBC have put in there. But Robert Sims seems to be ranked in about 20 different positions.
Well, we'll see how things go once the division takes off. Once the first fights are made, then we can just about figure out which way the division is going to go.
Well, guys like Gassiev should be in there. How does a Tony Bellew comeback? How does that sound for you?
I think Tony's seen his better days. I think he's done.
So you don't think he can come back and do something like that Bridgerweight division?
I don't think Tony Bellew is interested. He's got money, got a good reputation. He's going to stay out. I think
he's going to. I can see him coming back.
I just don't feel that he'll come back.
Come back and fight for the Bridgerweight title. Former WBC Cruiserweight champion. I think he vacated the belt.
I think that Tony Bellew is done. I think he got his mind made up and he's done.
If he came back, what would you think?
I think that he's a good fighter. I think that he belongs there. I can see him vying for the title. I can't see him winning the title. I can't see him beating Rivas.
Okay.
Jennings, those guys, I don't think he can beat him.
Jennings was beating Rivas until I think till the last round, and he got caught in the last round against Rivas.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Who do you think the first Bridgerweight champion is going to be?
I don't know. I just don't know.
If I were Marius Breeders, I'd be going straight for that Bridgerweight title.
Yeah, because he's got nothing else to prove at Cruiserweight.
If I'm Marius Breeders, I'd go for it. I'll tell you another guy who should fight in this division, Michael Hunter.
Oh, yeah, Michael Hunter could come in and blow that division wide. I don't know why Michael Hunter's name is not in there.
Michael Hunter should be in the Bridgerweight division. Who else? Small heavyweights.
Yeah, small heavyweights. Michael Hunter can find himself a home in that weight class. Michael Hunter can come in and find himself a comfortable position in the Bridgerweight division.
Usyk won't come back and fight for the Bridgerweight title, would he?
I don't think Usyk is interested in it. I think Usyk has got his eyes on the prize, but I don't think he's interested in the Bridgerweight division. I'd like to see Usyk versus Michael Hunter at Bridgerweight.
Ooh.
That would be an excellent fight.
Who wins and why?
Oh man, I don't know. Don't put me on the spot like that. It'll be a great fight though.
Who else from heavyweight? Deontay Wilder at bridgerweight. How's that? How does he do as bridgerweight champion?
Oh, Deontay Wilder can win the Bridgeweight title. I'm sure he can win the Bridgeweight title. But again, his greatest adversaries would be Alexander Usyk and Michael Hunter. Those would be his greatest adversaries at Bridgeweight. He'd have his hands full with either one of those guys. Because Usyk and Michael Hunter are magnificent boxers. They know their way around the boxing ring. And they can cause Deontay problems, a lot of problems. You know, Deontay Wilder can be in a maze if he's boxing Alexander Usyk.
Really? Has Usyk boxed that good since he's moved to heavyweight for you to have such confidence? Really? I mean, he was getting nailed by Chisora.
Yeah, but Bridgeweight is a whole different picture.
So just imagine Usyk getting hit by Wilder. He'll be fast, but Wilder being faster.
Imagine anybody getting hit by Wilder.
This is what I'm saying to you. Usyk's getting hit more and more.
Yeah, well, he's got to tighten his game up. That's for sure.
So this Bridgerweight division, who would you like to see else in the Bridgerweight division that comes to your mind? You're either draining somebody from heavyweight to come down, or you're pushing somebody up from cruiserweight.
Well, I think that it pretty much covered the guys that's reasonably.
Dorticus?
Well, Dorticus would be in there.
What's the guy that Usyk beat for the first title? Glowacki can make that.
Yeah, he can. Glowacki can make it.
Glowacki's better than most of those guys have got there. Glowacki.
Right, but he probably said that he didn't want to leave cruiserweight right now. But like I said, those bridgerweights, they can get right in there. The cruiserweights is just a small version of the bridgerweight.
Who would be the best bridgerweight at the moment? Best bet to become bridgerweight champion at the moment, even though Rivas is number one contender. I don't know. Why is Rivas number one contender?
Yeah, didn't he get busted with drugs? He got busted with some drugs.
So why is he number one contender? Why is he number one contender then?
Because he's probably high. He's probably high. And Kevin Lerena is coming up from the IBO Cruiserweight Championship.
How good is Kevin Lerena? What do you know of him?
I've seen him and Vlasarenko box down in South Africa, but I don't think that Kevin is anything explosive at Bridgerweight.
Okay.
I mean, he could fight, but I think that he would be in some fights if Alexander Usyk and Michael Hunter was there. If Michael Hunter and Alexander Usyk, Kevin Lerena, and everybody else in that division would be in a.
Okay, let's drop Michael Hunter down to Bridgerweight, and let's give him his first fight. He has to fight Oscar Rivas.
He beats Rivas. Michael Hunter is a phenomenal boxer. He'll beat Rivas. He'll wrap Rivas up in a gift box, put a bow on it, and send it back to his family. Okay, so Michael Hunter versus Romanov. Do you ever see Romanov fight? No, I never seen Romanov fight, but I'm sure that Michael Hunter is just a different kind of fighter. Hunter versus Jennings. Hunter, no problem. No problem. Hunter versus Bellew, Bridgerweight Championship of the World. That's a hot fight. But Michael is just his boxing IQ is just up the gazoo. Can't nobody beat him that day. If I had a fight, I would want to fight Michael Hunter.
All right, I'll put a fight in with Michael Hunter.
Huh?
I'll put a fight in with Michael Hunter.
Who?
Marius Breedis.
Breedis would be a tough. It'll be a tough.
I'll put Breedis in with Michael Hunter.
Breedis versus anybody.
That's a bad man. I'll tell you, he's a very bad man, Breedis.
Breedis, Usyk, and Michael Hunter, they'd run that division with an iron fist.
Lev Graveson asked a question. Is there a chance that the bridgerweight division is diluting the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions?
Is it diluting it?
Yeah, is it? Would you say?
No, I don't think so. Because some guys are naturally too big to be cruiserweights and naturally too small to be heavyweights.
So then why didn't you just make a super heavyweight division instead of a bridgerweight division? Because you've got it in the amateurs. In the amateurs, we've got the super heavyweight division and the heavyweight division.
Well, perhaps they'll get to that day in 10 years from now, 15 years from now. But right now, it is what it is. Heavyweight, bridgeweight, cruiserweight.
I can see you. I can now understand. You said within 3 years, the bridgeweight division will be the hottest division in boxing. I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got those guys that's too small to be heavyweights and too big to be cruiserweights.
So what happens if the bridgerweight champion moves up and fights the heavyweight champion? Does he vacate? Does he vacate his bridgerweight title?
I can see that happening a lot. Just like light heavyweights used to go up and fight the cruiserweights, and the light heavyweights go up and fight the heavyweights. You know, so it's not a problem. I can see that happening. When those guys get too big and don't want to make the weight no more, then they go up.
If we were to we could do a fantasy bridgerweight, right? We could bring all those old fighters back, right, and stick them in the bridgerweight division. Because where would Ali fit now? Would he be in the bridgerweight division?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali would be in the bridgerweight. Joe Frazier, Jimmy Ellis, Larry Holmes.
No, wait, no, not Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes wouldn't be in the bridgerweight. No, wait, hold on. Larry Holmes wouldn't be in the bridgerweight division. Yes, he's 6 foot. He's 6'4", 6'5",
no,
big guy.
Listen, man. Listen, I was there in the camp, but Larry Holmes was 6'3", and Larry Holmes' heyday, Larry Holmes wasn't but 214, 215.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah. Check that one. I'm definitely checking this one.
Check it. Go check it right now.
I'm checking it now. No, I don't believe that. 250 pound Larry Holmes. Nah. I'll be shocked. Well, what about his later days?
Go and find the weights.
I'm right there now. I'm right there. Larry Holmes, 6'3". Doesn't say there. Let's see here. Doesn't say anything about his weights there. No, it doesn't have anything on his weights. No, it has nothing on his weights there.
Find the weights when he fought Tim Witherspoon. Kenny Norton. He was a bridgerweight. Guy was a bridgerweight. He's only 212 to 214. The 218.
It's 115 kilograms.
What's 150 kilograms?
According to this, it's saying 18 stone 1.
What's that?
18 stone 1. That's what he's saying.
18 stone 1 is what? Converted to pounds.
253 pounds, Uncle. Come on. Larry Holmes, 253.
Oh, that had to be the older Larry Holmes. I'm talking about the Larry Holmes that was down fighting Tim Witherspoon and Kenny Norton and them guys. They were bridgerweights, man. Them guys wasn't no 230 and 40, 50 pounds. Those guys, Muhammad Ali, and it was 210 pounds, 209 pounds, 211 pounds.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll take your word for it. You're the expert here. So
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I'm surprised. Larry Holmes look a big guy. He looks a big guy on TV.
No. Larry Holmes, back in those days, when Larry Holmes boxed on the undercard in Landover, Maryland,
Yeah.
when Muhammad Ali versus Jimmy Young, Larry Holmes fought a guy that night. The guy was Red. The guy was being managed by Red Fox, the comedian. I forget the guy's name, but Larry Holmes that night couldn't have weighed more than 215 pounds.
Okay. So Larry Holmes going to the bridgerweight. So Larry Holmes, we've got to pick 10. We'll pick the top 10 bridgerweights. Ali, Holmes, Holyfield, Tyson.
George Foreman.
No, Foreman. Come on. Foreman's got to be a heavyweight.
George Foreman was only between 218 and 222 when he fought Joe Frazier. He was a bridgerweight.
George Foreman. It feels odd, George Foreman being bridgerweight. But okay, which version of Foreman are we having though? We've got two versions of Foreman.
I'm saying the George Foreman that fought Joe Frazier was a bridgerweight.
But the other George Foreman could go into the heavyweight division. We've got to pick.
Yeah, the other the latter stage George Foreman, of course, he was older.
And he actually fought Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield. So I mean, Holyfield could move up as well. So
Evander
what we doing?
Holyfield and Mike Tyson, in their best day, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Mike Spinks. Those guys in their best day was only 215 to 218.
Okay, right, fine enough. Okay, Ali, Foreman, Fraser, Norton,
Jimmy Ellis,
Joe Louis, Jimmy Ellis, Archie Moore.
Especially Archie Moore. Archie Moore is definitely a little guy.
Rocky Marciano.
Rocky Marciano might not even make bridgerweight.
Why is that?
Cruiserweight. Marciano was a little guy.
Sonny Liston.
Sonny Liston, yeah.
Henry Cooper.
Yeah. Dad Spencer, Leotis Martin, those guys was going back there, man. Those guys.
What about the guy? What's his name? Not Dick Tiger. He moved into light heavyweight. He became heavyweight champion of the world. Bob Foster.
Bob Foster was a cruiserweight. He get mashed out at bridgerweight.
Floyd Patterson.
Yeah, Floyd Patterson could get in there.
So, okay. With all those guys you mentioned there, would Ali still be the greatest?
Would Ali still be together?
The greatest. Would he be the greatest bridgerweight?
Are you on drugs? Ali is the greatest with any of them. I think Ali was the greatest with any of them. I don't care who you put in there.
Everyone is prime now. Nobody is. And which Ali are we having for this bridgerweight? Are we having the Ali before he went into prison?
Ali that beat Sonny Liston. The Ali that beat Sonny Liston.
Which one? The first fight or the second fight?
The Ali that beat Sonny Liston in any fight. The men.
Well, I heard with the Sonny Liston fight, I heard there was mafia involved with that. What? I heard they paid Mr. They paid Mr. Liston a visit. That's what I heard. They told him to lie down for the second fight. So. That's what I heard. Is that true?
Maybe
you got to knock it. He got a knock at the door from the nation. That's what I heard. But I don't know how true that is.
Well, yeah, they said that. They said, but Ali didn't have nothing to do with it. That was listening for his shady dealings. But Ali was there to fight.
Ali was what? When I went to America, I went and saw the minister's house. I went and saw Elijah Muhammad's house, and 2 doors down was where Ali was living. I mean, that was some road, yeah. So there have been a few conversations being had. We'll take care of this, Muhammad. We'll take care of this. My brother, we'll take care of this.
Fighter.
Huh?
Muhammad Ali was a special fighter.
I'm not suggesting for 1 second he wasn't.
God made Muhammad Ali. He broke the mold. In our lifetime, I doubt if we ever see another Muhammad Ali.
No, we won't. I don't think. I don't think so.
Just a special fighter. You know, he had the mouth, he had the technique, he had the heart, he had the chin. I mean, you know, just a special guy.
But he'd have to be Bridgeweight, right? He couldn't go up to that heavyweight division, or could he?
No, he was a Bridgeweight. I'd say he was a Bridgeweight.
So how would Ali have done?
When he fought, I think when he fought Lifton, he's somewhere around 208, 209.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very small.
But wait, Cleveland Big Cat Williams, he was over 6'5", wasn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't a big guy. You know, he was again 220. He wasn't past 225. I doubt it.
So then, okay, so you bring Ali back and you put him in Ali versus Joe Louis.
Ali versus Joe Louis.
Yes, I was calling Joe Louis, but Joe Louis, yes.
Interesting fight, but I think Ali stops Joe Louis. Ali was just too quick, too slick, too many angles, too much speed. Joe Louis was a plotter, you know. But Joe had to be set to throw punches.
That left hook,
the left hook, or the straight right hand can hurt you. But Ali was a mover, angles.
But Ali got nailed by guys. He got nailed by Henry Cooper. Cooper wasn't the fastest guy in the world.
Yeah, and he might very well have gotten caught by even Joe Louis. But I still think he outboxes Joe Louis. I don't think Joe Louis. I think Ali would have more respect for Joe Louis than he had for Cooper, because he would have been armed with the knowledge that Joe Louis could end the fight with one punch. So he would have been on his P's and Q's a bit better than he was versus Henry Cooper. Now,
if memory serves you correctly, one man I love, my favorite fighter of all time, is Sugar Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson moved to light heavyweight, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he go higher than that, or did he get up to, was it light heavyweight he got to, and then he got dehydrated in that fight?
Yeah. And never tried it again.
Bridgerweight. David Haye in the Bridgerweight division.
Yeah,
got some fun fighters in there.
David Haye would be in the Bridgeweight division. David Haye would fit right in the Bridgeweight division.
You've got to have some British fighters in there. So,
but David Haye cannot contend with good boxers. You know, good slick boxers. He can't. David Haye just couldn't deal with slick boxers.
Dwight Muhammad Qawi.
He would fit in the Bridgeweight division.
How would he do it?
Well, I mean, if you watch Dwight box against George Foreman, the latter George Foreman,
yeah,
you know, it was amazing that Dwight was able to box with George for the rounds that he did under that kind of punishment. But again, it goes back to what I said originally. If a person has boxing skills, boxing talents, You know, you can't beat the boxer, and that's what Kawhi did. Kawhi could box. He was a boxer, you know.
Another guy you got to add into that mix, Alex Stewart.
Alex Stewart was good.
David Tua.
Oh, David Tua. David Tua would probably be a champion in that division.
Michael
No, I
Mora.
know David Tua got to be saying, why is the Bridgeweight division coming along now? It would have been home for me.
There was a guy.
It would have been a home for me. You know, so David Tua got to be down in New Zealand now saying, these guys come along these divisions now. When I was fighting, there was nowhere to be found.
How can we forget Jack Johnson, Uncle?
Maurice Harris. Maurice Harris would have had a home in the Bridgeweight division.
Yes, Jack Johnson. Sam Langford.
Yeah.
Chris Bird.
Charlie Burley.
Charlie Burley, of course.
You know, those guys would have had a home in that division.
But you're gonna have
look at Maurice Harris versus Derek Jefferson. I think Derek Jefferson weighed in at 238 pounds. Harris weighed in at what? 218? 215 or something small. But he was light to be in with a big, strong guy like Derek. You know, Derek was a big, strong heavyweight. And Harris held his own under the circumstances. He did damn good. But now they got this Bridgeweight division. Harris would have been at home in that division.
Michael Mora.
Yeah, Michael Moore.
Zelko Mavrovich.
Yep.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he can fight.
So who's our top 10 then? Who's our top 10?
Came back after the Lennox Lewis fight. He fought Lennox Lewis, and that was it.
He had a muscle problem, and I think something about the muscle deteriorating, and that's why it stopped.
He fought a good fight versus Lennox Lewis.
Damn good fighter. He's got a great chin. Real good fighter. I'd love to see Zelko Mavrovich in this era.
Huh?
I'd love to see Zelko Mavrovich in this era. I think he'd have been pretty good.
I'm waiting for this division to materialize, to unfold for the people to see them, you know.
Just mentioned Sonny Liston. We've mentioned Sonny Liston, Floyd Patterson. We mentioned those guys. So who's the top 10, Uncle? Who's in the top 10? Who's your top 10? Bridgerweight top 10.
No, I'd have to. I can't do it now. I'd have to sit down and analyze everybody on the list. What do they bring? What's their pros and cons? So I couldn't say right now my top 10. I couldn't say.
Where does Mike Tyson fit in?
The top 10 probably would be all the old fighters.
Yeah, where would Mike Tyson fit in all this?
Mike Tyson would be in the thick of it, I'll tell you that.
Mike Tyson, you got to have Mike Tyson with Customado. Mike Tyson with Customado, yeah.
Mike Tyson would be in the thick of that division. He'd be in that top 5, if not right on top.
Really?
He'd be in that top 5. I'd have him in my top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of his ability to punch, his ability to take a punch, because of the punching power. Well, we said a punch and take a punch. His boxing skills, his durability, his toughness. You got to have Mike Tyson in that top. In that top 10.
But hold on. How many, when you talk about Mike Tyson's legacy, how many top fighters did Mike actually beat? Like on top, people that would go on to be Hall of Famers. How many of them did he beat? See, that's where you would talk about Mike Tyson. all those things you talk about Mike Tyson, you also have to add his temperament in there as well.
Yeah, but I mean, you fight what? Tony Tucker. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay.
See,
that's the thing with Mike Tyson.
They understand it with Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson was a brutal guy.
Yeah, but we look at opposition now with Mike Tyson, and that's the problem. When you talk about Mike, you need to sort of talk about legacy and okay.
Mike may, people criticize Mike, but Mike made fights easy because people be scared of him. If you're scared, then that's on you.
Yeah, but the guys that punched him back, Holyfield, Buster Douglas, Razor Ruddock.
That was a good battle between Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock.
And that's the guy had one. Razor Ruddock had one hand. This is the left hand.
Yeah. But
Imagine.
Razor Ruddock was a hard punching heavyweight.
Okay, Mike versus Foreman.
I think Foreman beats him.
Okay. Mike versus Liston.
I think Liston beats him.
Okay. Mike versus Ali.
Ali beats him.
Mike versus Norton.
Mike beats Norton.
Mike versus Joe Louis.
I'd have to go with Joe Louis.
Okay, so where's Mike fitting in that top 5? Where's Mike fitting in that top 5? Mike versus Evander Holyfield, you know the answer to that. So where's Mike fitting in that top 5?
Those guys was murderous punchers and they were good boxers. So,
So Mike, so again, when we start, Mike, I think promotionally, Bill Caton and the people behind Mike Tyson did an amazing job in making Mike look unstoppable.
You got to think that Mike Tyson was only like 5'11".
Yeah, and what about and what was and Jack, what about Jack? Oh, hold on. What about Jack Dempsey?
Huh?
What about Jack Dempsey?
Tough fight.
You've got to add Jack Dempsey into the mix. Jack Johnson. What about those guys?
Tough to pick them against Mike Tyson or Mike Tyson against them. It's just tough to say.
See, so.
But you call out the best of the best. Jack,
I am.
Yeah, you call it the best of the best.
But this Bridgerweight division would have the best of the best.
Ooh, it'll be something.
We know Mike Holyfield beats Mike.
A focused Mike Tyson. See a lot of these fights, Mike is in La La Land somewhere.
Well, do you think that's La La Land? Okay, yeah.
Cocaine and smoking marijuana and stuff like that there. So he was in La La Land a lot of times,
Is that a temperament thing though, Uncle? Because if he was La La Land then or now, what's to say he wouldn't have been in La La Land back then?
I don't know. I don't know how to assess that.
Mike would have to have customized.
We may not have never saw Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson, the best of Mike Tyson, because he had so many problems when he was boxing. Many of the problems he created for himself, but we don't know, what the best Mike Tyson really looks like.
What about
so controversial?
Tyson versus Shavers.
Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson beats Shavers.
Larry Holmes, George Foreman.
That's a tough pick. It's a tough pick.
I'm going to throw a wild card into that Bridgerweight division. James Toney.
Oh, James Toney would be right there in the top 5 too. Because again, we going back to the same situation. Boxing skills, man. When you got those kind of skills, it's hard to beat. You know, it's hard to beat a guy that got those kind of skills. James Toney has the skills to beat anybody in the history of boxing. He goes in any era.
RJJ. RJJ. Roy Jones Jr. in the Bridgerweight division.
No, I don't think that Roy does that well.
Really?
Mm-mm.
We talk about Roy Jones that fought John Ruiz. That Roy Jones.
Roy was a great boxer.
Mm-hmm.
But Roy just has problems when he's taking punches. And I'm talking about that Bridgeweight division. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the hardest punches in boxing.
Yeah, but Roy fought those guys. Roy had those issues with his chin once he left the heavyweight division, came back down to light heavyweight. Let's say Roy didn't go up. Let's say Roy only came down to the Bridgerweight division, or he didn't even go up to heavyweight. He fought straight in the Bridgerweight division.
I think that Roy's gifts were his speed,
the best of Roy,
his athletic ability.
Mm-hmm.
That was his assets. Same with Muhammad Ali, his speed and his athletic ability. But when those things left those guys, they were done. When Ali slowed down and Roy slowed down, that was it. So I think the speed and the athleticism is the best thing they had going for them. But when those things wilted away, the game was over.
Bob Fitzsimmons.
A fancy boxer with good reflexes. You know, you can't really put a handle on guys like
that. Roy Jones don't like pressure fights in like heavyweight division. That's what Michael Thomas is saying.
Roy Jones was at his best at middleweight and super middleweight.
Oh, a favourite's just been brought in here. The president, Ike Bwtm. Oh, the president. Where does he fit into the mix?
I think Ike was too big for the.
I wasn't 214, 215.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember he's a little thicker than that there, you know. But Ike Bwtm can box and he can.
Yeah. So where does he fit?
He can punch. He can punch with both hands.
None of them guys wanted him. Lewis didn't want anything to do with him. Holyfield didn't want nothing to do with him. He walked straight through David Tua, throwing them punches. I mean, he fits right in there. Great work, great.
That was a brutal fight between David Tua and Ike Bwtm.
Mm-hmm.
A brutal heavyweight fight. That was a brutal heavyweight fight. Man, I haven't seen a heavyweight fight like that since then. Those guys, they threw thousands of punches in that fight.
Wasn't there a fight? Was it Holmes? Was it Spinks versus Holmes? I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
There was one fight I saw. It was Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes was throwing. He had his hand out, and he was throwing them straight right in through the middle. And the other guy was doing the same thing to Holmes, back at him. They were back at one another. And I mean, Lennox Lewis in the studio saying, I would never want to have a fight like that. And this was like in the 13th or 14th round. This fight was going on with Larry Holmes.
It was a brutal fight. I recall that. Brutal fight.
Tommy
Bwtm ruined his career. You know, he could have been the heavyweight champ. I believe most people believe he could have won the heavyweight championship.
Bob Fitzsimmons versus Mike Tyson.
I had to sit back and watch Bob. I haven't looked at him in a long time. But he gives Mike problems early, but Mike catches up to him somewhere in the mid rounds and knocks him out.
Okay, another wild card I'm going to throw in there for you. Thomas the Hitman Hearns.
Yeah, but he don't belong up there. Tommy's just too light.
Tommy fought a cruiserweight. He did fight a cruiserweight.
Yeah, but Tommy was at his best at welterweight and super and junior welterweight and junior middleweight. He's at his best. He's out of his league or going to middleweight and super middleweight and light heavyweight. That wasn't Tommy. Tom, even though he could carry himself because he was a tall guy with a good punch, I think he was at his best at welterweight and at junior welterweight. I think he was at his best. You know, as far as overall skills, if you put him in the light heavy division, super middleweight division, no, I didn't.
You didn't like Tommy? Did you like Tommy Hearns at that weight?
Huh?
You didn't like him at that weight. You weren't a big fan of him at that weight.
I mean, you know, he beat Dennis Andres and he beat Virgil Hill. You know, he beat some good guys up there. But you know, I liked him better at welterweight and junior middleweight.
Okay. Gentleman Glenn McCrory.
Yeah, Jim was a pretty good boxer. Like I said, I'd have to refresh my memory on these guys. You know, I remember a couple of fights that Glenn had. You know, and at light heavy. You know, but I had to watch him.
He was cruiserweight. He was a cruiserweight, Glenn McCrory. He became IBF champion.
He wasn't light heavy?
Cruiserweight. He was cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, well, I got him mixed up. I got Glenn mixed up with somebody else.
Glenn McCrory sparred.
I'm thinking Murray Sutherland and stuff like them guys. You know.
Glenn McCrory sparred. He's from England. He was up north.
Oh, I know who he is.
Okay.
That's why I say I got to refresh my memory and look at it. I've seen so many fights and so many fighters. You know. So it's like it's not a
yeah.
Huh?
There we go. Michael Spinks versus Larry Holmes, undisputed.
I thought that Larry Holmes won the second fight. I think Michael out-hustled Larry in the first fight, and I think they just took the second fight from Larry Holmes. I think to spite him, you know.
Tommy Morrison versus Mike Tyson. Michael knocked the hell out of Tommy Morrison.
Morrison gets knocked out by Mike Tyson.
Inside 2 rounds. Inside 2 rounds.
The question is being asked based on Morrison's left hook, but I think Mike Tyson would have taken that left hook.
Mike would have stepped inside. Boom.
But even so, even if Mike had to take it, Mike could take a punch.
And Mike knocked Morrison out. Look what Michael Bent did to poor Tommy Morrison.
Yeah.
Herbie Hyde. There's a boy. Herbie Hyde. Come on, Uncle. Herbie Hyde.
Herbie Hyde was a very, very rugged puncher. He could punch.
He needs a place.
He's one of the dangerous punchers that I came across, you know, as a boxing trainer. He was one of those guys that could punch with either hand. If he catch you, you had problems. He could punch, and he was strong. He was physically strong. Did he ever go back to Great Britain?
No, he's from Great Britain. He's in Norwich, isn't he?
Huh?
He's in Great Britain. He's in Great Britain.
I'm saying, did he return to Great Britain, or did he stay in Las Vegas?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
The last time I saw him, he was in Las Vegas. I had him and Jonathan Banks boxing each other.
Let's throw Jonathan Banks in there. Jonathan Banks, small heavyweight.
But Johnson did do enough. Well, he don't belong here. I can't put Jonathan in because he didn't do nothing. Jonathan didn't stay long enough. He didn't stay in boxing long enough to make an impression to judge where he could be at.
He did beat Seth Mitchell.
And Seth Mitchell beat him back.
Glenn McCrory retired 25, now wants to fight Roy Jones. Yeah, Glenn McCrory's fighting Roy Jones, I understand, somewhere in May.
Oh, stop it. Oh.
Poor uncle. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. How can we forget? How can we forget Carl the Cat Thompson, the man that beat David Haye? Went on to become IBO, I think, champion of the world. I think WBO cruiserweight champion of the world as well.
Yeah, I remember him, but I'd have to refresh my memory on him.
Johnny Nelson.
Mm-hmm. What about Johnny?
What do you mean, what about Johnny? What do you mean, what about Johnny? Former cruiserweight champion, what made about 8 to 10 defenses of the title. Gotta bring Johnny into it.
Yeah, I think Johnny. I think he would ease into that Bridgewater division, especially at the latter part of his career.
He was cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, he was cruiserweight champion, and he had some kick in his punches too.
Yeah. Okay, Johnny Nelson versus David Haye, the qualifier.
Good fight, but Johnny wins.
Johnny beats David Haye.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's not gonna like you for that one.
Yeah, Johnny beats him. David was a lottery punch. David was a lottery fighter, you know.
A lottery fight.
He had tried to set something up, pull with the jab, and try to set something up with the right hand. But Johnny was clever. He was clever. He beat David.
John McMormick.
John McMormick. He stunned David, you know, but again, I'd have to go back and look at his career, look at some video, then I can make a better assessment. But he had David. He had David. I
don't know if Gary. I love Gary. He was one of my favorite fighters. I don't think he meets Bridgerweight though, does he? Gary Mason.
Ooh.
Gary Mason.
Gary Mason would have to lose to him. No, he would. Gary Mason was a big guy.
Yeah, kill Gary Mason. Mason can't make that.
Gary Mason he came in over 225.
Yeah, forget Gary Mason. Jermaine Taylor, really? I don't think so. Jermaine Taylor couldn't make that weight. No, Jermaine's middleweight. Forget Jermaine Taylor. Who else? Who else would we
I don't
consider?
know what Jermaine Taylor is doing now with his career, with his life. Now,
he's in prison. He's in prison. He's in prison, Uncle.
They sent him to prison?
Yes. You know what happened to him?
I don't know that they did send him to prison.
He had firearms on him, didn't he? He had firearms, and they caught it on camera. Sent him straight to prison.
Mm.
Steve Cunningham. Where does he fit in the mix? Former IBF champion of the world at cruiserweight. Did well at heavyweight.
Yeah, I can see Stevie in the Bridgeweight division. I can see him there. And that's not beyond Steve. Stevie might come out of retirement and still get in there. Stevie Cunningham might come out of retirement and hear about this Bridgeweight division and try to get back in there.
Bernard Hopkins. Might be a step too far for Bernard, I think. I mean, Bernard was once talking about heavyweight.
Yeah, but Bernard, no, he better. Bernard, he can't get in that Bridgeweight division. They'd bust his ass. He can't. Bernard is done. He can't. Bernard.
Hey, now my hero, because he can't do anything wrong. Son of God, Andre Ward.
I'd see them at cruiserweight. But Andre Ward, Bernard Hopkins, they couldn't get in that. Bridgeweight division. Them guys would be too strong and hitting too hard for those guys.
Hey, what was talking?
Coming in and be slick, and yeah, Bernard too. But there's always that if factor. They catch their ass. You know, they can hurt them. Those guys are not. Those guys they don't have enough physical strength to contend with them kind of guys. Them guys gonna be at 225, and they're gonna be thick, and they're gonna be strong, and they're gonna be hitting hard. So I can see Bernard and Andre at cruiserweight, but Bridgeweight, no. I think that's a.
Do you remember when Andre Wall was talking about fighting Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, talking. He was talking, and he's talking about fighting at Bridgeweight too. But it's just talk, you know. You can't. Joshua's IQ is too good to let a little guy like Bernard or Andre come in and beat him. I mean, Joshua had failed. He failed with Ruiz, but it's not likely that's going to happen twice.
Okay.
All right. Ruiz caught him with his pants down, but that's not going to happen twice.
Sergey Kovalev.
They'll break his neck too. Sergey Kovalev is done.
Kovalev is done.
If he winds up in the Bridgeweight division, they'll bring the night of the fight. They'll bring a coffin.
Oh dear me. Anthony Yard at Bridgerweight.
How tall is Anthony Yard?
He's 5'9", 5'10". Oh no, 6'4". 6'4".
6 feet?
Yes.
Well, if you fight like he fought Arthur, you get knocked out. If he fights the same way that he fought Arthur, he'd get knocked out. He's 6 feet, so he can hang out. He can be in that division. But he'd have to up his game. I didn't like the way that he fought Arthur. I thought he did a lot of posing, but he didn't do no punching off of it.
Bwtm.
He belongs in any division because he has two-handed power. If he catches somebody, he can make the difference. So that puts him in the running. I don't know how his chin is, but I know he can punch.
Jeremy McClennan, could he have made it? He's quite tall. Rangy.
Yeah, but I don't think that Gerald would have made it past cruiserweight. I think that cruiserweight would have been it for him. Light heavyweight and pushing in that cruiserweight, that would have been it for him.
Kawasaki?
Same thing. If he could even make cruiserweight. Kawasaki was at 68. Maybe he can make cruiserweight, and that was it. But if you get to Bridgeweight, those guys, like I said, those guys are thick. They built strong, and they're hard punchers. You know, people don't understand when you're talking about fights. You know, you say so-and-so can box, or so-and-so can do this and that and this and that. But let me tell you something. When you put those 10-ounce gloves on with those wraps and they hit you on your chin, on your temple,
Yeah.
it's a whole different ball game.
Oh, here's a man there. That's a bad man there. Adonis Stevenson at Bridgerweight. Ooh, uncle.
Adonis Stevens is like better beef, you know. He could punch, and that puts him in the running. Those guys land punches on a person anywhere, and you hurt. Those what you call God-given punches. When Adonis Stevenson land a punch, Either you out or you damn near out.
Yeah, I don't. No, definitely not. Hugh Fury definitely could not make the Bridgerweight division. Hugh's too big. What do you think, Uncle?
Too big.
Too big. Way too big.
Wrinkle couldn't make it.
Nah, I couldn't make it either. I don't. Hagler, really? Marvin Hagler at cruiserweight, at Bridgerweight, he'd get battered, wouldn't he?
Oh, no, Marvin Hagler too little. But Marvin Hagler's a little guy.
But do you remember, Uncle, back in the 80s, late 80s, where Mike Tyson was knocking everybody out and they were looking for people to beat Mike Tyson? And the two people they talked about moving up, they said, first, they had something stupid they said about Hulk Hogan fighting Mike Tyson. Then they said Marvin Hagler was the man to beat Mike Tyson. Do you remember that?
No.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, but I dismissed it because people don't understand boxing. They don't know there's regulations and weight classes. And Marvin Hagler just was too little.
Why did people mention Hagler of all people, though?
Somebody has some kind of fantasy or something that don't really know about boxing.
But you heard the rumors yourself, right?
Yeah, I just dismissed him. You know, because I knew the people who were talking about it didn't understand the sport of boxing.
Antonio Tarver. Woo! The magic man. You've got to put him in there, Uncle.
Yeah, Tarver can go in because Tarver knows how to box. He's a southpaw and he knows how to box. He knows where he's at all of the time in that ring. He has a good chin, good boxing skills. He's reliable. He's trustworthy in that ring. He knows what he's doing. So, yeah, he can get in there.
You serious?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back and try to get in the mix.
Good fighter. That's why. Clubber Lang, HBO rubbish. Mr. T, Clubber Lang, HBO rubbish. You know, Clubber Lang who fought Rocky?
Yeah.
What about Canelo, Uncle? How does Canelo work in this?
Oh, Canelo's too little.
Really?
The guy's 5'7". He's a little guy, man. 5'7", 5'8". You know, where's he going? He can't. I mean, he's not Superman. He's achieved a lot for the time he's been in boxing, but he can't go for so far. I mean, he really a bit of big bite when he went up to light heavyweight. No wonder he went back to 68 because he's just too little. He couldn't beat those guys up there at light heavyweight. That's why he beat Kovalev. He saw a weakness, said, I can beat Kovalev and go back down. He did the right thing.
But he can punch. He's shown he's got punching power.
He can punch, but the further up he goes, the less that punching power is going to mean anything. He goes up to cruiserweight, that punching power won't be nothing. Because I doubt very seriously if he's going to carry that power up to cruiserweight. It's just going to be like him throwing stones at a wall at cruiserweight because those guys are bigger and stronger.
Yeah. Did we mention Gassiev?
Yeah.
And where do we think of him?
Gassiev will break somebody's neck. You know, he'll break somebody's neck if he can hit him. But Usyk made boxing look easy with Gassiev. Mm-hmm. That probably was one of Usyk's easier fights.
His fights.
He made an easy defense of Gassiev.
Okay, Uncle, you've got to name 5 old timers. 5 old timers for the Bridgerweight division, and I'm going to name 5 new fighters or newish fighters, last 10, 15 years.
Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes. Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, those are my first 2.
Right.
George Foreman.
Yep.
Joe Louis and Ezra Charles.
Dang. Alexander Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
Bridis. Michael Hunter. Antonio Tarver. Could be durable, strong. I can't take Archie. Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting.
So I've taken guys who've got good chin, who's got durability, punching power.
All right, since you want to put it, I'm gonna take off as a child and put in Sonny Liston. Ali, Larry Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe Louis.
Yeah.
Sonny Liston.
Okay.
And George Foreman.
So Jesus. Mike Tyson, Alexander Usyk, Bridis, Tarver. And who was the other one I picked?
Mike Hunter, Bridis.
Hunter, Bridis, Tyson, Usyk. One more.
You got two. You got two more.
Now it's 5.
Usyk,
Hunter, Bridis, Tarver, and Mike Tyson.
And Mike Tyson. Good call. It's interesting. That's an interesting face-off.
I've picked guys who are durable, who can punch, who can box,
They can take a good punch,
and can take a good shot, good stamina.
Because they're going to have to be able to take a punch. Because I've got Sonny Liston and George Foreman in that lineup, and Joe Louis. I got Joe Louis, Sonny Liston, and George Foreman.
I have no problems putting.
Mm-hmm. Whoever you put in there, they better be sure they don't get hit.
I've got no problems putting
because
Mike Tyson
get hit by George Foreman, Sonny Liston, or Joe Louis, they're gonna have problems.
Right, Sonny Liston,
George Foreman.
Sonny Liston fights Alexander Usyk. I'm managing the fight. I'm taking Usyk over Liston. Your thoughts? Let's talk Usyk Liston. Liston's a plodder. Usyk Olympic gold medalist. He won't be at heavyweight. So
I think we're talking 15 rounds. I'm thinking that Usyk can outpoint Sonny Liston.
That's what I'm going.
But boy, oh boy, he'd have to tiptoe through a minefield. Because if he get caught, but I think that Usyk is smart enough.
He takes a good shot. And by the way, he's trained by you. So I'm thinking
Usyk is smart enough.
That's what I'm saying. So I win that one.
He's smart enough to avoid Sonny Liston's big bombs.
So
if Liston mentally gets unraveled when he can't hit something, so I can see that. I can see Usyk skinning past him.
So so Liston and Usyk out the way. Okay, pick your next fighter.
Muhammad Ali.
Well, he's the greatest of all time. I'm going to throw Mike Tyson in there.
No, Ali outpoints
Tyson. Of course, Ali's going to. You've got the greatest of all time, man. It's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, but Ali out just was That's
Oh, let's see
tough
what.
one.
No. You know what? No. You know what? Oh, no. I'm retracting Tyson. Tyson. I'm going to give you Michael Hunter. I'll sacrifice that Michael Hunter for Ali.
Yeah, that would be better for Ali. To give yourself a better chance. But Ali beats Michael Hunter.
Ali beats all the guys I've got. Let's be honest.
Ali outpoints Michael Hunter. He outsmarts him.
Okay, so Ali, Hunter, out the way. Next two. Pick your fighter.
You know why? Because I saw Michael fell apart when he boxed Usyk. And that probably wasn't the best Hunter, but it is what it is. I think that Ali just mentally gets in Michael's head and outpoints him.
Okay, fair enough then. So Michael
One
Hunter.
of few people who could unravel Michael Hunter is Muhammad Ali.
He would get into his head. Okay, right. Next. One to you, one to me. Next fighter.
Larry Holmes.
Said you got Joe Frazier as well, didn't you?
Mm.
Larry Holmes. Who have I got left? Hunter out. Usyk's out. Tyson. Tarver. And who's the other one?
Breeders.
And you're saying Sonny Liston. Not Sonny Liston. Who are you saying?
I got Sonny Liston.
Have I fought? Are we sort of fought Sonny Liston yet?
We got Sonny Liston. No. We got
Liston got beat by Usyk.
Okay, Usyk.
Hunter got beat by Ali.
Okay. So now we got who we got? We got George Foreman.
Tarver versus Foreman. I'm going with Tarver. Good chin, good boxing ability.
George beats Tarver. Tarver be slick. Tarver never been stopped. He's a cutie pie. But George crushes Tarver. Because you talking about 15 rounds.
Oh my God. I didn't add Holyfield into my team. Oh my God. How have I not put Holyfield in my team?
Yeah. But Foreman beats Tarver. And I know Anthony's gonna call me on the phone. But George beats Tarver. Tarver goes out front.
Wait, which form are we talking here?
I don't care which one I'm in.
Nah.
Tarver goes out front. We're talking 15 rounds. Tarver goes out front. Maybe the first 7, 8 rounds. But when you get around 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, George catches Tarver and he lays on him. He mauls him. Tarver tires and George catches him late. But I don't think George knocks him out. I think he just rakes him over the coal and wins the decision.
Okay.
Nobody knocks out Tarver.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Next guy up.
So we got Ali.
You're winning at the moment.
Liston.
Yep.
Ali, Liston, Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
Holmes.
There's some great guys you've got there.
Holmes.
Larry Holmes. I've got Mike Tyson and Bridges left.
Who I got left?
Ezra Charles and...
No, I got Holmes. I said
Holmes and Fraser.
Nope, I ain't got Fraser. I got somebody else.
Ezra Charles and Larry Holmes.
I got Larry Holmes up now. Larry Holmes is up the bat.
Well, Mike knocked Larry Holmes out, but it wasn't peak with Larry Holmes. Shit.
You put Larry Holmes and Mike Tyson together, prime on prime.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You got a hell of a fight there.
It's a hell of a fight. But I think Larry would beat him over 15 rounds. I really do. Mike's done, I think, after about 8 or 9 rounds. I'm throwing Breeders in with Larry Holmes.
Oh yeah, I got Joe Louis there. Joe Louis is in there late. I got the last one of Joe Louis.
Joe Louis. I'm putting Mike Tyson with Joe Louis.
I think Mike Tyson would beat Joe Louis as long as he wasn't getting caught. But I think Mike Tyson beats Joe Louis.
Mike Tyson, the night he knocked out Michael Spinks, that Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I think Mike beats Joe. Larry Holmes is my last guy.
Then Marius Breeders is going to step up and fight Larry Holmes.
Oh man, that's a heck of a fight. That's a hell of a fight there. That's a
two-fisted attack.
Huh? Great
chin. Breeders punches like a mule. He's got proven punching power at heavyweight.
Larry Holmes beats him. Split decision. Yeah. Split decision. Breeders tries to catch up late, but it's too late to catch up. Oh.
I will have to do this again. I'm definitely going to have to do this again. I enjoyed that. Hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's show with Uncle Bashir and us matching up with fights. I think we're going to go through all the weight divisions and have to do this. So, Uncle, we have to do this again, but also the bridgerweight. But I think, what did you think of my picks in the end, though? I mean, you had legends there, absolute legends. I mean, I don't know if it's even fair.
Yeah, we do it again with some other fighters.
Yeah, but you had some absolute legends there. I mean,
yeah, I know Antonio gonna call me up talking about me. But I got George Foreman over Antonio Tarver.
The same George Foreman that was out of box by Ali.
Yeah. Tarver be slick and cute for 15 rounds. George, he'd be hitting Tarver in the back of the head, on top of the head. He'd be hitting Tarver on the hips. George would win that fight.
George is not a better boxer than Hopkins. I think Tarver could make George Fist make him miss and make him pay.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the southpaw style.
Just the pressure. I think the pressure will wear Tarver down.
Remember, Foreman was knocked out by Jimmy Young.
Mm-hmm.
Is Tarver better than Jimmy Young?
Just as good or better.
Well.
See, in boxing, mentality is what makes up for other attributes that other fighters don't have. Antonio Tarver is a mental fighter.
All the guys I picked were mental fighters, apart from maybe Mike Tyson. Everyone else was mentally very strong. Mike's the only.
Mike Tyson is a wild card.
He's a weak link.
You don't know what Tyson is coming to the ring. You don't know what Tyson is coming to the ring.
The Mike Tyson that used to come in the ring, and that the towel used to come off like a gladiator and walk to the ring. That Mike Tyson. We're talking about that Mike, the invincible Mike Tyson. That aura. I've got to have that aura when it comes to Tyson and when he fights. That's the best of Mike, because he's got to be, for Mike, he's got to be able to intimidate you He's got to look unbeatable. I need every inch of that with my Mike Tyson fighting. Mike needs that. The other guys don't need that, but Mike needs that.
Oh man, when you come with a guy that can box, I know everybody likes punches.
Yeah.
But I like those guys that can box. Give me a James Toney anytime. A James Toney that's in shape and want to fight. I like the beauty of the art of boxing. And James Toney and Maurice Harris, those guys can box. Those are two of the prettiest boxers that I've ever come in contact with. I saw them box. I saw Maurice Harris and James Toney box each other in the Wild Card Gym, in Freddie Rose Gym.
But you saw Maurice and Maurice Harris and Mike Tyson. You saw that too as well.
Yeah, but that was a guy. Mike was trying to punch with Maurice because he couldn't have boxed with him. He had the right idea, cut the ring off and bomb him.
Uncle, how good was John Conte? I heard a lot about John Conte. How good was he?
John Conte was very good, very educated boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Very tough mentality.
Out of those 5 guys I picked, could John Conte replace any of those 5 guys? Can you replace Breeders?
Too little.
Okay.
Too little. Breeders was too strong and punched too hard. I've worked in the camp with Breeders 2 or 3 times.
Mike Spinks. Mike Spinks instead of Breeders.
Mike Spinks is a hard puncher with both hands. And he can box. And he's clever.
How does he do against Breeders, though?
It'll be a tough fight. But it'll be a tough fight. It's hard for me to pick a win in that fight. I'm looking at the 2 of them in my mind. I'm looking at the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pick a win.
Great stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying it. Tava might get brain damage versus Foreman. No, I think Tava's skills are underrated. I think George's punching power is great, but George missed with a lot of punches. Yes, when he connected, he was a problem. But Ali, as small as Ali was able to tuck up and take those shots because Ali took a lot of punishment against Foreman, sucked up all those shots, and then knocked Foreman out.
Ali took a lot of punishment from George. See, George was a clever guy. People don't understand, George was a student of the game. He wasn't your run-of-the-mill guy that was just out there punching. He studied the game. And he wreaked havoc. He did a lot of physical damage to Ali's body in that fight. He did a lot of physical damage.
The thing is, I don't see Foreman landing that many big shots on Tava. And that's why Tava always had a great chin, because he didn't get caught clean often. It's not like Foreman had fast hands.
See, George, look at the fight on YouTube with George Foreman versus Dwight Muhammad Qawi.
I saw the fight. I watched it up recently.
Qawi was like 5'7", so he was able to bend. When he bent, he was like 5 feet. So George had a problem hitting him. But a slick guy like Tava, George would have said, "Okay, I know what to do for you." And he would have hit Tava everywhere. He'd have hit him in the thighs, the shoulders.
Hey, yeah.
He couldn't have hit Tava in the head. Tava wouldn't have let him hit him in the head. And George would have automatically reverted to the body.
Okay. The Mike Tyson with the twitch. Yeah, the neck twitch. That Mike Tyson. That one. That's the Mike I'm bringing to the ring. That Mike. When that neck's twitching, all your guys are twitching in the corner. That Mike.
You know, it's a shame that in some sports you don't get the best guys because of their youth. They're young and they're doing dumb things and
Yeah.
they don't care as much, you know, as an older version of a person. But the older version just don't have that snap, crackle, and pop the way the younger person has. So
How
you really get the whole fight.
how many fighters today do you know had an aura? The only person who stepped in the ring of recent times I've seen step in the ring with that sort of aura was Deontay Wilder. There's been a mist over them. Who else steps in the ring like that? Who commands that sort of when they step in the ring, you're actually fearing what that guy can do?
They don't have imagination now. They don't have the flair and the imagination of the fighters of old, you know.
Well, Mike Tyson had that.
Deontay Wilder has an aura about him that I'm going to break your neck.
Yeah.
I'm going to break your neck.
Exactly. That Deontay Wilder has that. But who else does that in boxing? Canelo doesn't do that. You don't look at Canelo and go, he's really scary. You don't look at Golovkin like that.
Yeah.
Who do you look at in boxing? Apart from Wilder, you look at and think, this is going to go down tonight. This guy's up here. Who do you look at in boxing like that? You go through the boxing today. We've got
the only ones that have that kind of that aura, that mean aura, is the Charlo brothers.
Yeah, they've got that.
They got that chip on their shoulder, you know.
Yeah, they have that. You know who could pull it off? Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis could pull that off, I think.
Yeah.
You think? What do you think?
Yeah, I think he could. Gervonta Davis, I think he could.
Garcia hasn't got it. He's got pay per view of that.
I gotta get some water.
You okay? You okay? You're not okay, Uncle.
Let me just get a glass of water here. I drank some lemon juice just now.
Yeah, careful. Sure. Have you had your check, Uncle?
Huh?
Have you had your check?
Yeah, I've been checked out across the globe. I was in France and got a check. And I got checked twice in Ukraine and then once in New Jersey when I got back.
What's that like? What's the checks like?
You ever have somebody stick something all the way up your nose, all up your nostrils?
No.
They stick they stick a swab all the way up your nose, all the way to the back of your nostrils. Man. Then they take it out and they put another one up the other nose, up here. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling, but I guess they have to do it so they get a true test. Then they take another one and stick it down to your throat as far as they can go without you swallowing it. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, very uncomfortable. But I did it twice in Ukraine, once in Paris, once in Russia.
Okay.
You know, everywhere I went, you know, they had to do it. You know, it's very uncomfortable.
Okay.
Very uncomfortable, but I guess it's necessary to find out who they're letting in the airport, who they're letting on the plane. So yeah, I'm all for it. If that's a safeguard, you know, before you get on the planes, you got to pass the test.
So I heard a story that in boxing, Eddie Hearn threatened that he would go. He has no problems going abroad to do boxing shows, and the British Boxing Board of Control had shut down boxing. They said in the middle of next month they're going to open boxing back up again.
So they got everything on shutdown in Britain.
Yeah, we're on lockdown. This lockdown will last probably till March.
So the street is like a ghost town. The restaurant?
I don't know about that. It's you know.
What about the restaurant?
They're shut, but I haven't looked at any restaurants, to be honest. I've actually this lockdown, I've done all my cooking at home. Done early cooking at home. Not gone out. I had one KFC just before the lockdown, the major lockdown started. Otherwise, I've had everything at home. I've cooked everything at home.
Then you take me to the place to get the rest. I went to a restaurant or something after you and I talked in London, and I went somewhere and got some. I got some. I got chicken.
It was a roti, like chicken roti.
Roti. I got a place. Who took me? I can't remember. You didn't take me though, right?
Can't remember. I don't think I did.
Get some food.
Yeah.
Late at night. I think after you and I talked. Late at night in London.
Yeah.
Late at night. I went somewhere walking, trying to find out myself and got lost, man. People had to take me back to the hotel.
I know when Berman came to London to fight Joyce, we went out. We had a meal at the Usain Bolt restaurant. Man, all like the only thing about that place was that they served everything. Majority of the food was microwaved, like the rice was microwaved and stuff like that. But the food's all right. Jamaican food, nice. Then we went out to the Mediterranean place, a good, big plate of food. Nice.
I wish I could have stayed a day after the fight. We had to go that next afternoon. I got plenty of sleep in the morning because I ate breakfast and went back upstairs and hung out. We left that afternoon about 5:30, 6 o'clock. Wish I could have stayed the whole day and then leave the next day.
Well, you need just get a couple of British fighters, that's all.
Yeah, that would have been nice. So I could have really sank into London, you know.
You got it. Before you end your boxing career, Uncle, you need to have a British fighter under your wing.
Yeah, perhaps I'll get there. I would like that. I would like the experience. I would like the experience to stay there for 6 months or something, training the boxer, taking to two or three fights. After that time, then he would know me and I would know him, and we know what to expect from each other.
That'd be something.
Yeah, I think that would be a good experience.
Just before we close, I was going to say this to you. Andre Rozier, I did the interview the other day with him, and he was he was full of praise with you. Full of praise.
Andre is a good guy. He knows his way around boxing. He knows how to walk around boxing. You know, he don't need that much introduction because he's been around for a long time, and he's respected in the profession. So yeah, it's a good idea.
He's got a result.
To collaborate with him, you know.
Yes, he's got a venue, a hotel that are going to be doing 6 cards this year at a hotel.
Andre and I, we like an hour away from each other. 1 hour. It's just as simple as me getting in the car, driving over, him driving over to me. We that close to each other, but yeah, he's a good guy.
And just before,
one of the few people in the boxing business that I communicate with, collaborate with, because he's a good guy. You know, that's plain and simple. He's a good. Andre Rozier is a really good guy.
For boxing fans and for people who are on Bwtm, can you let people know the type of a little bit about the 2 trainers that will be on the channel, Tommy Brooks and Don Turner?
Tommy Brooks and Don Turner, those are old school guys, and they deserve a lot of respect. Much of what I learned in the sport of boxing goes back many years. I'm going back to the mid '60s with Don Turner, and Tommy and I. We've been associated with each other since the early '70s. You know, so. Those guys been around. They've been around the boxing circle a long time. And I learned much of what I know about boxing. I learned much of it from Don Turner. You know, I've learned much of what I know now from Don Turner. And he's always got an open ear. You know, I can call him any time of day or night and communicate with him. So yeah, those are good interviews. You know, 2 good guys in the sport, 2 good guys, 2 smart guys. two guys that's not boasters or braggarts, or just all around good guys.
And accomplished as well.
I think the boxing fans can learn a lot from listening to those guys.
Mm-hmm. What would you, as a listener, want to know? What would you like me to ask those guys? Because you would know the sort of question I should be asking legends like that.
Where and how this Don was both of them was fighters. Both guys were fighters. Don Turner was a fighter, and Tommy Brooks was a fighter.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Tommy Brooks lost to Michael Spinks for the box office. Him and Michael Spinks mixed it up. Maybe 2 or 3 times.
Now, I was going to ask you something there. It was to do with that. The type of guys that Don Turner would have trained. Who's the sort of guys that Don Turner would have trained in his career?
Oh, Don Turner. Don's been around for so long. He can tell you better than I can. He's worked with some big guys. He's worked with some big name guys over the years. You're talking about a guy that's been around the sport for almost 75 years.
I know Don Turner did a lot of work with Evander Holyfield. I know that much.
Yeah.
Who else?
He's been around them all. Meldrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker. I think that him and Tommy Brooks have done work together.
Yeah.
We've
had Tommy on the show before a couple of times. I was talking to Tommy, and he said when we talk about Davey Price, that the boy don't listen. The boy don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
So he went off. He said, "Well, I ain't wasting my time here. I'm going to work with her. I'm going to China or Japan to train some heavyweight." He was talking about.
Yeah, that's how I feel about some of the fighters that I've encountered over the last 15 years. How could you learn something if you're not going to embrace what I'm teaching you? If I'm asking you to do something, I'm not asking you for my health, but I'm asking for the prosperity of both of us. If you just listen, if you just try to grasp what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got the young people now, I ain't mentioning no names, but you got the young people telling you, I'm telling them one thing, and then they're going to tell me something else. And I'm saying, well, why am I beating my head against a wall with a person that's 20, 25, 30, 30, that I've got grandchildren your age, and I'm trying to teach you something about the sport, and you're telling me something. So it's time for me to pack my bags and keep it moving. Because I don't have time for this thing.
Yeah, but you see people like that, you never see success for their career. And if success comes, it's short-lived because they always know better.
It's just not like the boxers of yesteryear, where they revered the trainers, they revered the teachers. They don't do that now. If something don't go right now, then it's easy for them to say, well, it's the trainer's fault.
Because there's examples of fighters leaving trainers and going to other trainers, and the loyalty and the value and accountability in this era is not one. People are quite happy to blame. We're in a blame culture now. We're not in accountability. It's easy to blame somebody else than to see the flaws and the holes within your character. That's what it is.
Well, it's hurting the sport. It's hurting the sport because everybody is a wise guy. Everybody knows better than the people who's been there for years. I like communicating with Don Turner because he's one of few of the old school guys that's still around. He's the kind of guy I can call anytime of day and night and say, if I got a problem with something or something about what I want to do with a fighter, I call Don and I talk with him. And that's beautiful that, that he's still around. Whereas a lot of these guys are not still around. A lot of these guys are dead and gone, and they've been dead for years. Tommy Parks and Lee Black and Sam Solomon, there's so many guys that's gone, They're gone. You can't communicate. That's it. They're gone.
Mhm.
So
I'm gonna ask
he's one of those few guys that's still around. And Jimmy Glenn, he's gone. You know, Jimmy Glenn, he was a real sage in boxing. That was my guy. Jimmy Glenn was my guy.
wow.
He was a lot of fighters guys, you know, a lot of trainers and a lot of boxers. Jimmy Glenn was the go-to guy.
Jimmy Glenn.
I tried to get Jimmy Glenn a few years back to go down to Australia with me, and he just told me, he said, "Bash, I can't do it no more. I'm too old." I said, "What do you mean? We can still get on the plane." He said, "Yeah, but I can't ride on a plane like that no more. I can't."
Wow.
You know, I mean, it was a 17-hour ride. He just told me I can't do it no more. He said I could do some local shows, but I can't take those long flights no more.
Yeah.
And I got a rush. I got really scared because I said, "Wow, will it come to this time for me? Will I be afflicted by that same fear?" And then the other side of my brain said, "Of course you will. But we'll worry about that bridge when we got to
When you
cross
get to it.
it." Yeah, we'll worry
So
about that bridge when we got to cross it.
let's ask the question: what are your thoughts on Benny Briscoe?
Last of the old school dinosaurs. Last of the old school dinosaurs. I remember going to Philadelphia years ago when I was first starting out as a trainer to watch Benny Briscoe versus Marvin Hagler. And man, you know, Marvin hit Benny with some punches that night, some hard punches. And Briscoe kept stepping to Marvin, and he would bang Marvin back. And Marvin went into the corner. I saw the trainer talking to Marvin, and Marvin was talking back to the trainer. The trainer was talking to Marvin. And Marvin seemed to me like he was saying, "Look, I hit this guy with everything, and guy's not stopping." And the guy said, "Go out there and win the decision." And that's what Marvin did. Marvin danced and he moved and he boxed. Uncharacteristically, he boxed. He boxed his way to a decision versus Benny Briscoe. But I'm happy to say and proud to say that I witnessed the great Benny Briscoe in a boxing ring. I saw him box. I saw Mustafa Hamsho box. I saw those guys box. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I saw Sonny Liston box.
Wow.
So even though it was at the end of his career, I saw Sonny Liston box. You know,
You met him?
huh?
You met Sonny Liston?
No. I watched him box. I never met him though. You know, I never met him, but I was in the arena and I watched him box, and I thought that was a big night that I saw Sonny Liston box.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the little, you know, things that you don't appreciate as a young person. Later on, you look back and say, "Wow, I was there. I saw him box." You know,
Yeah,
Benny
yeah, yeah.
Briscoe was one of them. Carlos Monzon. You know, you see these guys boxing. I mean, Monzon lost a fight, and then he didn't lose 70 fights after that. He lost one fight and then went 70. I think if you look at his record now, I think he lost one fight and then he went 70-0 before he lost another fight. Or he didn't
Carlos
lose.
Monzon.
You know, those kind of boxers I'm talking about. You know, guys now, you know, 30, 40, 50-0, 55-0. But the guys of yesteryear, they had 90,
Yes.
90
Fights. 132 fights, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ray Robinson had what, 200 fights? Can you imagine that? 200 fights?
How many fights was he having a year, though, you'd think?
Yeah, got to be 8 fights a year. But in those days, they was fighting every 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Or they didn't eat. Jack Dempsey said, you know, I measure my wallet by you know, how many fights I can have. You know, so this guy was living on the edge, and they were fighting. That's what you come to fighters now. You try to get them. These guys want to fight 2 times a year. And then they wonder why. Who you got, a mosquito? I guess.
Yeah, cheeky mosquito coming up. Yeah, cheeky mosquito. We get them. I know. Out of place.
I saw one in my house too. I saw one.
It's probably the same one.
No, it ain't the same one. Get out. No, but I saw one in my house. You know what? I think that they hide in the walls or something, and they got to go out and stretch their wings or something. You know? Yeah, I saw one, and it's wintertime.
I think, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Right, before we finish, last thing. I don't know if you heard of the announcements. Mawul Shah is going to be defending his title against Trevor Bryan. What happens?
Trevor Bryan's going to win the title.
Yep.
Trevor Bryant's going to win the title.
Trevor Bryan will probably win by knockout. That's what people are saying.
Huh?
Trevor Bryan will win by knockout.
Yeah, but which WBA title? They got 15 titles.
The regular one, the one that David Hay had, the one that Povetkin had.
Oh, okay. It's the regular WBA title.
Yes, and then Trevor Bryan's the
interim WBA title.
Bryan's got the interim
Super WBA title.
And the Super WBA title is what Joshua's got.
Oh, stop it.
I know. The Super WBA champion. Well, I said it, that's the paper belt, but people want to be quite thing about it. That's the paper belt, the WBA. I think they made that belt for that fight with Klitschko because I don't know. But I know the regular belt is the belt that has legacy to it. That's the one that was around in Ali's days, the WBA belt. That belt is the one that Shah is currently holding. So, and then Christopher Lovejoy was telling the media that how Don King didn't give him the money, but from my source, I understand that the fight was signed in November and Lovejoy already got paid. So I don't know. So he's fighting Stavern on January the 29th.
I want you to look up the fight tonight. Mike Rossman versus Yaki Lopez.
Okay.
Good fight. Okay. Light heavyweight fight. Mike Rossman versus Yaki Lopez. Look that up tonight. We talk about it when we talk tomorrow or either in a week.
That sounds good. That sounds thing. And we'll have to go again. I think Tyson had 19 fights in the 80s. 19 fights in a year in the 80s. I think Bill Caton called it Bummer Week. Bill Caton said Tyson fought the Bummer Week, but it didn't matter. They just needed to give the image of a guy knocking guys out. And that's what Tyson did. So Bill Caton, the master of promotion.
Knocking out bums.
That's what Bill Caton said. Bum of the week. It doesn't matter.
Knocking out bums. It's not easy to knock a man out. It's not easy. Especially when those guys got their mind made up that I'm not going to be knocked out.
Linear champion. Shake the hand that shook the hand that shook the hand of John L. Sullivan.
Well, this just 2 or 3 title stuff. I'm just, you got the regular title, you got the regular championship.
Yep.
You got the interim championship, and then you got the super championship, all from the WBA.
Hold on, you've still got the global title, and you've also got the youth title, and the Asia and Pacific title.
Oh man. Oh,
and on that night, I think we should close, Uncle.
And all of them got sanctioning fees. All of them
I'm glad I'm not a boxer, Uncle. Uncle, thank you so much again tonight. And we'll be back. I think we have to do.
I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
I really enjoyed that fantasy matchup. Maybe we'll have to do one next. We'll do the middleweights next, I think.
Yeah, okay. I'll look forward to it.
Yeah, the middleweight. Okay, Uncle. You won the first one. You won the first one.
You think so?
Yeah, you won the first one.
I
We'll
don't
give you
think
the
so.
first one. Why?
What that?
You won the first. You won the Bridgerweight title tonight. You did that.
I did?
Yeah, of course you won tonight.
Well, I won. Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali,
Yeah, you guys won. The Larry Holmes won.
and George Foreman.
And yeah, you won. My guys got beat. Not all of them. Mike won.
Wait a minute. I think that's Tom for calling me now.
Oh, dear me. Right, Uncle.
Man, yeah, I want to hear the end of it. I want to hear the end of it, man. I know he's going to call me.
Uncle, if Wilder Fury is announced, I want to hear what you've got to say. That's going to be something. Can't wait. Can't wait for him.
Yeah, okay. I'll say you told me so. I'll say
Yep.
I didn't think. I'm gonna say I didn't think so, but you told me so.
Or if that happens, that's some serious contract that's there. That's all I know. All right, Uncle, you take care.
Okay.
Have a great night. Everyone else, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Look forward to it. Good night.